Hey everyone, welcome to Java Byte. In this video, I am going to discuss at request param annotation. What is the use of at request param annotation and actual implementation of at request param annotation. At request param annotation binds the web request query parameter to controller method parameters. In simple words, we can say that this at request param annotation extract query parameters from web request URL and it binds to the controller method arguments means controller method parameters. These query parameters are key value pairs appended to the URL after the question mark. Let's see the examples. HTTP colon slash slash localhost 8080 is a host, slash API slash get employee is a path, and after question mark we can see the request param present in the URL path. Here first name is a first query parameter. We can see the second example, http colon slash slash localhost 8080 is a path. No, it's a host. Slash API slash get employee is a path. And after question mark, we can see there are two query parameters are present in this REST API endpoint. The first query parameter is name and the second query parameter is contact number. These two query parameters are getting separated by using AND operator. We can pass a multiple query parameters. Those multiple query parameters are getting separated using AND operator. So in this way, we can use request param annotation to pass the multiple query parameters in the URL path. Let's understand this at request param annotation through the example. This is simple. Here I have created a simple employee and controller class, and I have annotated this class with at rest controller annotation. So this employee controller class will handle all incoming HTTP web request. Also, I have used at request mapping annotation to provide the common path in the class level. See here we can see I have created one simple REST API endpoint. This endpoint path is get employee. I have used get mapping to provide the path here. And this class is public and the return type is string. And I have provided the method name as a get employee. And inside this method, I have used the request param annotation to specify the query parameter name. So based on this query parameter name, request param annotation will extract the query parameter values from the URL path and it binds to the method level parameter. So actually here this request param annotation will extract the value of the first name and it binds to the method parameter first name. So in this way, request param annotation will use to extract query parameters from the URL path. So let's create practically we can create one simple REST API endpoint and we'll understand and we'll test it how it will work properly. Okay. So let's jump to IntelliJ IDE. Here I have created a simple Spring Boot application. Inside already I have created one model name called as employee. Inside this I have provided two attributes. One is name and one is contact number. So let's what I will do. I will create one package. I will name it as a controller. Inside this package I will create one class employee controller. For this class, I will annotate it with at rest controller annotation. So this class becomes entry point for all the incoming web request. So this rest controller annotation will tell to a Spring. This class will handle all incoming HTTP web request. And also I will use request mapping annotation to provide common path at class level slash API. And what I will do, I will create two endpoint here. One is the first example http colon slash slash localhost 8080 port slash API. It's a common path for all the methods present in this class. I have provided it in class level. And the first endpoint path is employee. And I will pass for the first endpoint, I will pass only one request parameter that is first name. See, So for this endpoint, I am going to create one the end method. So public and string, the return type is string, and the method name I will provide it as a get employee. I will use get mapping to provide the path. Path name will be slash employee. And here I will use request param annotation. So in using this request param annotation, I will specify the name of the first query parameter name. The first query parameter name is first name. And I will declare one method level parameter, first name. So here this request param annotation will extract the query parameter value from the URL path and it binds to the method level parameter first name. And I will return employee name. I will concatenate the query parameter value. So this is a one REST API endpoint for getting an employee based on the first name. So it will return the employee name as ABC. We'll test this endpoint. So for that, I will start our application. Let's wait for 2 seconds. Let's see. Application started successfully on port 8080. Now I will copy this endpoint. I will go to Postman and I will call this endpoint using get mapping. Here we have provided the query parameter name first name as a ABC. I will hit this API. It should return employee name as ABC. Successfully it is returned whatever we have passed as a query parameter value. In this way, the query parameter annotation will work. We'll create one more endpoint with two query parameters. Okay. For that, I will copy this one. Here instead of first name, I will pass it as a name. Using AND operator, I am getting differentiate. And the second query parameter name is contact number. Okay. For this, I'm going to create one method public. Instead of string return type, I will use employee model as I have created in the model class, where it will accept the name and contact number as two attributes. So I will name it as a get employee by name. And for this, I will provide the path using get mapping. Path will be slash get employee. And here I will use the request param annotation. Using request param annotation, I will provide the name of the query parameter, first query parameter name. The first query parameter name is name. For the first query parameter, I will declare one method level parameter. And I will use one more request param annotation to extract the query parameter value for the second request param annotation. So I will provide the name for the second request param annotation. The second query parameter name is contact number. And I will declare method level parameter as a contact number. And I will return new employee object with these two query parameter values. I will provide the name, comma, contact number. So this endpoint will return the employee object with the name and contact number present in the URL path. So here how it will work means this first request param annotation will extract the query parameter value from the URL path and it binds to the method level parameter name. In the same way, second request param annotation will extract the query parameter value for contact number and it will binds to the method level parameter contact number. So in this way, we can pass multiple query parameters for any REST API endpoint. Let's test this example. So I will restart our application. Let's wait for 2 seconds. Application restarted successfully. Now I will copy this second endpoint and I will call this second API endpoint. See here, the first query parameter name is name and the value is ABC. Second query parameter name is contact number and the value is this one. So if I hit this endpoint, it should provide a JSON employee JSON object with these two values. Sorry, it's giving a bad request. Let's check it once. Sorry, I have provided the name as get employee. There is a issue with path. See, successfully it is returned employee object with name and contact number. The name is ABC, contact number is this one. This is same as a request parameter values. So in this way, a request param annotation will use to extract the query parameter values from the URL path. Consider here, if you go to the at request param annotation, we can see value, name, and required. This required attribute is there, right? By default, it is true. So means whatever the request parameters are present in the in the method level, the values should be present because by default it is true. If you didn't pass the value of this request param annotation, it will throw an exception. Let's test it. So what I will do, I will not pass the contact number. Okay, just I will hit the endpoint. See, it's giving an error. Now we can check the error in the log. Required request parameter first name. Required request parameter first name for the method parameter type string is not present. Means it's saying we need both first name and contact number should be present, or else it will not it will not go to the next request param annotation. So in this way, we need to use the request param annotation. If you want to disable a require mandatory, we can specify here using comma required false. So in this way, it will not make this request parameter annotation is not a mandatory. It can be optional. We can pass as null or it can be we can pass as any value. So I will restart this application. Let's wait for 2 seconds. Now what I will do, I will not pass value of this one. See that it's coming contact number as empty. If I didn't pass the value of this one also, we'll get an exception. No, it will by default it will consider as a empty. If we didn't pass the query parameter only, then it will give an error. See here, request parameter name for method parameter type string is not present. So in this way, we can use a required uh, operation based on the our requirement. If the request parameter should be a mandatory, then we should not declare required as a false. By default, it is true. In this way, request param annotation will work. I hope you guys understand the use of at request param annotation. So now if you like the content of this video, please subscribe my channel and like the video. Thank you.